Team 1, in position.
We have a known bomber holed up in his house.
A man that was accumulating an arsenal in food stores to survive a siege.
This is someone that's willing to do mass murder.
We simply see him come down the mountainside.
What if he decides to engage them in a firefight?
Adrenaline-fueled manhunts, tactical takedowns, high-stakes games of cat and mouse. Across America, elite teams of FBI agents are on a mission to hunt down the most wanted criminals in the country. Every day, they put their lives at risk to save yours. This is law enforcement to the extreme. This is FBI Takedowns. An anticipated crowd of over 2,000 marchers from all across Spokane are gathering for the city's annual Martin Luther King Jr. Unity Parade.
It was a very, very crisp, the sun was shining, it was a beautiful day.
Hundreds of people are streaming into the area to head to the convention center in downtown Spokane.
People came to the march, greeting old friends, and people were getting excited. It's a march about people helping people.
We have this history in our region with these violent racists. And there's a real desire for us to want that to be passed, to want that to be over.
And the community have rallied against that. They've galvanized and it's really tamped down some of those strong anti-government white supremacist beliefs.
With any large public gathering these days, there's always an effort to try and identify any potential threats, to see if anybody's heard anything or seen anything, and we had not heard anything.
There was no pre-warning, there was no chatter, if you will, there was no threat stream that indicated an attack would be launched on that day.
So outside the convention center area where the parade is set to begin, a cleaning crew is calmly going about their work, prepping the area for today's event.
We went out for maintenance, groundskeeping, picking up leaves and debris through the parking lot in the area. We had kind of gone out as a trio and out on the corner of Main and Washington in front of the convention center. We found a backpack just sitting on the bench. Sherman opens it up, pulls out some t-shirts. Something hit him. Face went totally blank. You could see a look of genuine shock and almost fear in his face. Whoa, what do we do now?
911, what are you reporting?
I work for the city, and right now I am at the convention center. I'm at Washington and Main, and I'm cleaning up in the parking lot. There's a backpack here. It's got wires in it and stuff. It looked like it could be a bomb. We're going to let it sit right there until you guys get here. I know today's Martin Luther King Day.
I'm letting them know. I want you to stay on the line with me, though.
Copy.
As they wait, Brandon and his co-workers try to protect the growing parade crowd.
We didn't know what to do, but naturally we just kind of formed a triangle around the corner. We were telling people, hey, you probably don't want to come this way.
To their credit, they set up basically a perimeter using just themselves to protect the hundreds of people that were still coming in to get to the parade. They could have fled the scene. They could have backed up blocks away. They didn't.
When Spokane police arrive,
6-9 radio, we have a confirmed explosive device on scene over here.
the squad's first move is to protect the parade goers.
They did a wonderful job setting up a security perimeter so that people couldn't get close to this device. The other thing they did that was extremely significant in this case was that they were able to determine an alternate route so that they could still have the march and without alarming all the participants.
Facing a terrorist threat in the heart of their city, Spokane police reach out to the world's preeminent counterterrorism experts, the FBI.
We're notified, and I realized my life from this moment on was going to change.
The fact that the regional bomb squad called me, they don't call me for just pipe bombs. They realized that they had something.
They've seen wires, batteries, things like that, enough to make it suspicious.
My first thought is, how far along was the bomb squad with what they had, and then what did they have? I was debriefed by the lieutenant. I talked with the robot operator there, and then with the safety officer that was already deployed.
They know the risks. Still raw in everyone's mind is a tragedy 3 years earlier. Certified hazardous device technician William Hockham and Captain Tom Tennant of the Woodburn, Oregon Police Department approached a bomb when it suddenly detonated, killing them. Two heroes lost in the line of duty. As Agent McEwen works with the local bomb squad on a plan to neutralize the device, each man shares a fear that this could be his last assignment.
How far away can someone be and push a button and really ruin your day? So you're really thinking, we got this one device. Are there other devices that someone's going to set up as you walk up to check and clear the trash can, or the cars? And it's downtown. There's cars all over the place. There's trash cans all over the place. There's lots of places to hide other bombs. And was this the small one, or was this the main one? Don't know.
For that reason, the cars and the surroundings of the parade or of the attack site were secured until they could be swept by the FBI with our partners.
Overseas, we've seen it many times where they have other devices to kill the bomb techs, to kill the command staff, and to kill the first responders trying to protect people. So yeah, we had to look around for other devices before we could even go up to it.
If you can think of anything, okay, have you seen anybody maybe over at the bank?
So we were just methodically going through, car by car, person by person, witness by witness, and interviewing as many people as we can then, because once they leave the scene, they're hard to find again.
See that? Hey, can we get the dog in here to clear this?
Crucial minutes race by as agents scour the area and question everyone.
It's very critical to get information right away. The clock is ticking, leads go cold. And it was our job to get on this as fast as we can because we have a bomber. And as long as they're out there and we haven't found them yet, no one's really safe.
We've got a package over here. We've done a secondary sweep of the area.
After a thorough sweep fails to turn up a second bomb, Agent McEwen and the Spokane bomb technicians focus on the backpack. They deploy a bomb disposal robot to photograph the device.
At that point, the way this device being in a backpack and then wrapped in several layers of t-shirts and duct tape, we really couldn't get a good idea of what it was.
They blast the backpack with a high-pressure water cannon. The impact rips it open, exposing the bomb's inner workings.
You then have to use the robot to start tearing this all apart. We saw an approximate 5-inch metal tube, and that gave us the idea that it was a mortar-type device. A backpack, 30 pounds of explosives, is going to go, several blocks of lethal range.
Once the robot does all it can, it's time for the most dangerous assignment of the mission.
And you're always trying to do your job the safest you can, but at some point, it takes a human walking down to do the final look and confirm that it's been safely separated.
Can we do this? Yes, sir.
No one's sure. No one knows if it'll still detonate. No one knows if the bad guy is still standing off 200 meters with a remote control device to initiate it once the bomb tech gets downrange.
It's been more than 4 hours since Spokane city workers first discovered a bomb along a downtown parade route. To disarm it, the FBI and the local bomb squad have dispatched an explosives technician. As he moves in, he knows the IED can detonate at any second.
The reality is, at some point, you do have to cut some wires. Hopefully you're cutting the right ones and you've already disabled it, so you can make it perfectly safe. He was able to cut some wires that we thought may have been to the initiation system and safely separate the pieces of the mortar.
To be safe, they send the bomb disposal robot back in to take pictures. It reveals the bomber packed the device with lead fishing weights for deadly shrapnel, and that's just the half of it.
We actually had the robot pick up a few of those pieces of shrapnel, and then the Spokane hazmat team was there because we saw a green substance on these lead weights. That was unusual. We'd never seen that before. We didn't know what it was. They donned level A with full bioprotection and respiratory protection. Is that a poison? Is it a radiological substance? Is it a biosubstance? So we're always looking, what's the worst case scenario and how can we protect the public from it? Then when the robot came back, hazmat had the detector ticket, and when it popped hot, then things got interesting.
Not just interesting, insidious. The hazmat crew collects samples of the green goo, then clears the way for McEwen and his team to safely start their investigation.
The rest of the shrapnel we decontaminated with a chlorine bleach solution to make sure that it didn't have any biological substance on it.
Smell that?
Yeah, what does that smell?
It smells terrible.
Agents Cleary and Butler soon figure out the ingredients of the bomber's foul concoction.
The subject had taken rat poison, which is anticoagulant, mixed it with, we believe to be, the sticky substance was marshmallow cream, and covered all that in fecal matter.
The rat poison would keep his victims' wounds from clotting.
His plan was to have people bleed out from the rat poison.
Fecal matter on the shrapnel would cause dangerous infections for victims who survived long enough to get to a hospital.
He wanted to injure and kill as many people as he could, but he didn't care.
He aimed the mortar inside the bomb to blast the deadly shrapnel directly into the crowd, like a shotgun, putting everyone within several hundred feet in lethal danger.
This is a very sophisticated device. This is a device that someone took a lot of care and interest in creating a device that will not only kill by explosives, but with shrapnel, chemicals, and biological substances. This is the worst device you can imagine.
The bomber packed one more trick into his death device.
This one had antenna and a package attached to some pretty strong batteries, something that would be actuated by a car alarm, or in this case it was a remote car starter, would set it off.
He has a 200-meter standoff that he can initiate the device. He'll push the button on the key fob, the device will go off. He wants to watch the damage. He wants to watch the destruction.
The attacker would have been able to walk through the killing field he had created.
Mission accomplished in his mind.
It was clear to us at the scene this device, although crude in appearance, was very sophisticated in its design, was very devious in its design, and it's something that none of us had ever seen inside the United States.
The team caught a major break when the city workers found the bomb, just in the nick of time. They hope their luck holds. They'll need it to find the bomber fast.
The worry is about, can we catch this bomber before he learns from his mistake and does it again? He or she is someone that's willing to do mass murder and spent way too much time invested in this bomb to just let it go. They're not going to stop. They're going to do it again and again until we catch them.
The universe of potential suspects was generally unlimited. And so what the FBI had to do was to take that universe of potential suspects and start to narrow it down and focus it.
A way to do that is by testing the feces on the shrapnel. It's definitely human and might get them the bomber's DNA, but that takes something they don't have: time. The FBI has no eyewitnesses, no reports of anyone suspicious, but buildings in the area are dotted with security cameras.
Priority at that time was to canvass businesses and other buildings in the area for surveillance footage that may be available. The one battle we ran into quickly was that we had no security footage of that immediate intersection area, so we weren't clear if this individual or individuals happened to just get lucky or they had done some surveillance ahead of time to kind of figure that out.
Agent Butler and his team review every frame of video they can get their hands on and come up empty. Meanwhile, the remnants of the bomb are sent to the FBI lab at Quantico. The world's most state-of-the-art forensics facility has the tools for stopping terrorists. The pressure's on Supervisory Special Agent Richard Stryker, who oversees the scientific investigation of the Spokane bomb.
It was a high-profile event at a very public event targeting a specific audience. And so we knew it was coming in, and we knew we had to devote a lot of resources to work around the clock to get as much forensic information off the components as we could. DNA analysis, latent fingerprints, trace evidence, hairs and fibers, firearms tool marks. When I saw it in the condition that it was in, I knew that we would have, a great chance.
The most harmless thing in the backpack gives agents their first lead.
The T-shirts that were used to protect the device and to provide a concealment in the backpack. The T-shirts pointed to Northern County, Stevens County.
Rural Washington doesn't share the rest of the state's liberal vibe.
Eastern Washington is different than Western Washington, where Seattle is. Eastern Washington, the culture over here is a little different. We do have a very small fringe group and fringe individuals who are white separatists and white supremacists. This history goes back decades.
Today, the region's white supremacist problem is smaller than it used to be. The Aryan nations, once based in nearby Idaho, had fostered violent offshoots near Spokane.
In the early 80s, we had the Order, and that group, led by Bob Matthews, went on to kill a Jewish DJ in Denver. They robbed banks, they robbed armored cars, and they were eventually captured, and Bob Matthews was killed in a standoff. We've also had the Kehoe brothers. They started their own white supremacist group, and they proceeded to commit several robberies and kill 3 individuals in the furtherance of their white supremacist activity.
A Martin Luther King Jr. parade seems a likely target for one of these violent racist groups. And though the bomb plot failed, the bomber's about to get a second chance.
Some people felt fear as a concern about what might happen next and who else is out there planning to do this again.
We in Spokane have several events coming up. The world's largest timed road race, which is Bloomsday, and also the largest 3-on-3 basketball tournament. It's called Hoop Fest. It's a young crowd, it's multicultural, multiracial, and it seems like everybody has a backpack.
The downtown streets of Spokane are literally packed with athletes and spectators. It'd be nearly impossible to stop someone from taking something down there.
One week after a bomber's grotesque plot is foiled, he's still out there somewhere in eastern Washington, picking his next target. He's no doubt hardened his resolve, upped his deadly game, and doing everything he can to make sure his next attack goes as planned.
This particular attacker was of great concern to us because clearly he had constructed a very deviously designed device, and he had shown a willingness to kill indiscriminately, obviously for a political purpose or to send a message, but he was prepared to kill men, women, and children.
FBI agents got lucky once. If they want to catch the bomber, they'll need more than luck, because the next big event is coming up.
Spokane, like most major cities, has any number of large public events. We were all concerned that one or more of these could be his target.
Everyone was on edge, wondering what was going to happen, what potentially could happen again.
To understand just how devastating a successful attack on a public event could be, look no further than Boston 2013.
Oh my God.
This could have been Boston Marathon bombing before Boston.
3 people were killed in that attack. Another 264 were seriously injured.
We knew the attacker here was devious. We knew he was probably very intelligent. And one thing we knew above all is he would likely strike again.
11 days after the attempted bombing, agents get their first piece of good news. The FBI lab lifts a fingerprint.
The fingerprint was found by the lab on the actual device itself, below some tape, and it was a very pristine print. So it's easy to surmise that, okay, whoever built this device or helped build it, that's their print.
That's not all.
The FBI laboratory was able to extract a sample of DNA from the handle of the backpack.
It's cleaner than the sample from the fishing weights, which is mixed with other materials.
It was clear DNA. The analysis indicated it was from a white Caucasian male. But in order to make that fruitful and to advance the investigation, there had to be something to compare it to.
Only they don't have a suspect, so they can't make that crucial match. For weeks, the agents keep playing angles and hitting dead ends.
We're sourcing the components of the device. We're interviewing hundreds of people. We've set a tip line up. At this point, 2 or 3 weeks into the investigation, we don't have any viable leads.
The team compiles a profile of their would-be bomber.
Certainly someone who has hatred toward people of other races and cultures. Also, we have fairly good source coverage in the white supremacy, white separatist movements in Eastern Washington.
All right, sir, we got a couple of leads.
No intelligence came in regarding this attempt. At this point, I'm thinking they're probably a lone wolf offender.
A lone wolf, AKA a zealot, who doesn't answer to any white power organization, making him far more dangerous and elusive.
My experience working in white supremacy, lone wolf offenders sometimes go into these groups and meet, and it gives them a sense to belong, but by nature, they can't operate in a group. They have a hard time getting along with others. And they are action-oriented. They want to make something happen. They want to do something.
As the clock keeps ticking, agents believe their best bet for bagging their bomber is to chase down each component of the device.
The battery was a specific type, and it was 2 of them, and they were newer. So that gave us the idea that it hadn't been sitting around someone's garage and someone may have just recently purchased them.
Now, on the bottom of these batteries, there's a long code. It's called the manufacturer's code. And we called and asked, what does this code mean? And they advised, well, all these batteries of this code are built in China. And this code is assigned to a batch. And these batches are 100,000 at a time. And every week, 100,000 batteries are manufactured with the same code and then shotgunned throughout the world.
And initially I thought, boy, this is a dead end because there's 100,000 batteries out there like this.
I don't know if it was good news or bad news, but it was something. It was a place to start. So armed with this, agents were sent into Idaho, north of Spokane, south toward Oregon, and also west toward Seattle with this code to try to source where are these batteries sold.
Agents cast another wide net to find the fishing weights the bomber chose as shrapnel.
These fishing weights in particular were a little bit unique, and every one of them, all 128, had the 1/4 ounce stamp. And so literally we had agents and task force officers going out to sporting goods stores and just looking on the shelves to see if they could find anything that looked similar. We had an agent here helping us from Washington, D.C. His name is Craig Noyes. He said, I'm going to take a trip north and take this battery and see if I can find anything similar. When he got to Colville, it was a hardware store that he went into. And lo and behold, on the shelf, he picked up a battery and it had the same lot code as those in our device. Craig Noyes decided, I'm going to take this one step further and try and figure out what other components could I have purchased here in town from the stores that are around here.
It's not long before Agent Noyes finds a big box retailer in town that carries fishing supplies.
Goes across to the store, he goes to the fishing aisle and does find, in fact, that those specific fishing weights were sold in packs of 10.
He became pretty excited that not only had he found the battery just down the road, but he then was at another store and found fishing weights which were essentially identical to those in our device.
It's not a great lead, but it's something. It's our first lead in this investigation. We finally have a possible break.
Excuse me.
Yes, sir.
You the manager?
I sure am.
My name is Special Agent Craig Noyes of the FBI. I've got some questions about these quarter-ounce fishing weights.
Agent Noyes requests the records of all fishing weights the store sold in the 3 months prior to January 2011.
Let me see what I can do. I'll be right back.
Thank you.
To get to 128 fishing weights, you would have had to buy, at least 13 packages of these things, and most fishermen are only going to buy a package or two at a time. In one instance, 6 packages of these fishing weights were bought and nothing else was purchased at the time.
A credit card receipt could lead them directly to their bomber.
But unfortunately, cash was paid for these.
There's still hope the buyer was captured on video.
I notice you have surveillance cameras. Any way you can get me that footage from November?
No, because our surveillance cameras were out.
But unfortunately, the store security system happened to just be down during that 1 week that we were really interested in November. And so literally they had no footage for us.
Well, I appreciate this. This helps a lot. Thank you.
Sir, good luck.
My heart sunk. You think, okay, we're gonna get video of the subject buying the fishing weights. We're gonna be able to identify him through either a credit card transaction or a video. And the subject paid cash. And the subject was not captured on video.
This time, luck favors the bomber. The agents know that every day that passes and every lead that evaporates boosts the odds of another attack. The bomber knows it too. In fact, he's counting on it. A month into the chase, the FBI's best leads for catching the Spokane bomber slip just beyond their reach.
I'd like to see when these were purchased.
They've found where the bomber bought the fishing weights for his IED, but he paid cash and there's no surveillance footage. They figured there has to be something else here.
When Special Agent Noyes was given all of the documentation about the sales for these fishing weights, they gave him a printout of each transaction. He said, hey, look here.
The marshmallow fluff, vitamin D milk fishing weights. Okay. Paid in cash, though.
And then when he went back, he flipped back to another. Within that same week, there were similar food items.
Cash, same thing. There's a little pattern going here.
And so even though one was purchased with cash, it looked like we had the same person visiting the store within a 1 week period, making several purchases, and the one was actually purchased with a debit card.
That one debit card receipt pays huge rewards for the team. It provides the missing link, a suspect. And his name is Kevin Harpham.
Once we have the name, the next step is to take a deep dive into who is Kevin Harpham. Look at his online life, look at his financial existence, look at his associates, look at his prior history.
And from that came his activity on a white separatists, anti-black, anti-Jewish website called the Vanguard News Network. We were able to tie him to that network where he posted using his true name twice and his moniker, Joe Snuffy, over 750 times. And we find out he was in the Army and stationed at Fort Lewis. We also learned that he was active in the National Alliance, which is a white supremacy, white separatist movement. We also learned he was an electrician by trade. He now lives in a small parcel of land which he owns in Addy, Washington, which is the lip of a town just south of Colville. He lives on a 10-acre lot, on a house he built by himself. He's never been married. He doesn't have any known associates. He doesn't have a girlfriend. He is a typical loner, lone wolf offender.
He'd spent about 3 years in the Army, had some very high scores to get into the military, so he was an intelligent guy, and potentially from his military experience had some familiarity with explosive devices.
He's also on that Vanguard News Network talking about owning weapons, about stockpiling weapons. He owns an AK-47 and a handgun, and he's intending to stockpile ammunition and food.
Kevin Harpum's online footprint gave us a picture of a man that really is a worst-case scenario, someone that is accumulating an arsenal in food stores to survive a siege.
Harpum is setting off major red flags for the agents and one nagging stop sign.
There was no evidence that he was actually at the parade at the time.
We had no security footage of him. We had no one calling in and naming him as a potential suspect.
He had never been arrested, never been contacted by law enforcement. There was nothing on file for Kevin Harpum.
And then you start wondering, do we have the wrong person? I mean, or do we just have a guy who happened to be buying fishing weights? Because at that point, that's all we really have.
The team of special agents needs a way to tie Harpum to the fingerprint and DNA evidence found on the bomb.
Now we have a print from the device, and we know from our investigation of Kevin Harpum, he was in the military. Please give us Kevin Harpum's prints. Print comes back from the Army. The prints that were taken when Kevin Harpum was in the Army are unreadable.
A setback, but there's still the DNA.
Nearly every military member has a sample DNA taken. The odds were slim to none that we were going to get that sample.
Don't even bother. It'll never work. They don't give out samples. It's happened twice in the history of the Army, but we didn't take no for an answer.
The FBI turns to the U.S. Attorney's Office for help. The Department of Justice is going to take the U.S. military before a judge.
We drafted up and applied for an order from a U.S. District Court judge requesting disclosure of the sample. And with the court order, the Department of Defense ultimately decided to release the sample to the FBI. An FBI agent obtained the sample in the laboratory in Maryland, immediately drove it down to Quantico, Virginia, and by the following day, we had a match. Kevin Harpum's DNA matched the DNA found on the handle of the backpack of the IED.
Upon hearing that news, I was elated. We have our subject, and now we know who he is. It went from who is he to how do we safely take him out?
FBI agents disguised as a road crew keep Kevin Harpum under round-the-clock surveillance.
We have court orders for pen registers on his telephone, so we can see the numbers he's calling in and out. We also have a pen register on his IP, on his internet protocol, so we can see the websites he's visiting.
We did not want to arrest Kevin Harpum at his cabin. It was clear from what we knew about Harpum, he had prepared for this day. He prepared for a long siege, and history is replete with loss of life from efforts to do that.
What you don't want to do is take them where they feel safe. We want to get him out of that location. We want to get him on a ruse, maybe in his vehicle, parked somewhere, maybe walking to a store. Make it safe for us and safe for him.
Luring him out of his lair and into the open won't be easy, but the agents must find a way.
Through our surveillance of Harpum, we determined that he was attempting to buy a vehicle that we believed he was going to use to leave the area for a while things cooled down.
It was decided that we would essentially make up our own ad, see if Kevin would respond to it.
Playing every possible angle, the FBI makes a for sale ad for an SUV, a truck, and a station wagon.
And we know also from reading his Vanguard News Network posts that he's very frugal. So we had the price point on those ads pretty low. And we posted the one for the station wagon at $1,500.
The agents set the perfect trap, and if he bites, they've enlisted the FBI's most elite tactical unit, the Hostage Rescue Team, to help spring it.
HRT had set up as construction workers, and they borrowed heavy equipment and uniforms and hard hats from Stevens County. There were about approximately 15 HRT operators posing as construction workers at a site.
A second group of fully armed HRT agents stays hidden and ready. Only one road leads out of the area, so when Harpum stops at the construction site, the agents will swarm in for the takedown. But first, they have to get him out of that house.
There's a sense of urgency. Here we have a known bomber holed up in his house. We have HRT, our hostage rescue team, is now on scene.
All right, we're in position.
There's a huge footprint, though they're pretty subtle. Still, it's a lot of people.
The longer they're out there, the more likely they'll arouse Harpum's suspicion. With the tactical strike team lying in wait, FBI agents anxiously tried to lure extremely dangerous bombing suspect Kevin Harpum from his armory of a house. But so far, he's not biting on the fake ad they placed for a potential getaway car.
The fear was that we'd have to go get him at his residence.
It took about 24 hours for Harpum to respond to the advertisement and negotiate the sale of the vehicle.
Hello, may I speak with Kevin, please?
This is him.
Hi, Kevin. This is Peggy. I got your email about my car.
We had an agent here who posed as Peggy, the owner of the vehicle, and she placed a call to Kevin in response to his email expressing interest and taped that conversation with him.
Would I be able to look at it tomorrow?
Yeah, that would be great. I work tomorrow, but I can slip out probably around 10-ish. Would that be okay with you?
That would probably work.
I remember thinking that Peggy was doing a great job at chatting Kevin up, and it was obvious that he seemed interested in this car.
Okay.
And we also really got kind of a kick out of the fact that Kevin seemed to be a lonely guy. He wanted to talk to Peggy for some time. He wanted to chat her up about this car and so forth. And so we were all just pretty excited that it seemed to be working.
With Harpum on the hook, the hostage rescue team reviews the details of their takedown plan. The fake construction crew will block the road ahead of them, box him in from behind, and blow a small explosive to distract Harpum while an armed tactical unit swarms his car. Quick, clean, and if all goes right, safe. The next morning, team members are in position and on high alert as Harpum emerges from his house.
What if he figures this out ahead of time? What if he decides that when he gets down to where he's contacting HRT, he does have a weapon and decides to engage them in a firefight? And that's going to put FBI agents and Harpum at risk.
There's a great deal of tension that morning. We don't know if he's going to be armed. We don't know what preparations he's going to make for this rendezvous. We simply see him come down the mountainside into the waiting arms of HRT.
And when Kevin Harpum drove by that site, they had blocked the road with a vehicle. While that's going on, one of the HRT operators driving a front loader had driven up behind Kevin in his vehicle to box him in.
Throw your window down, sir. Hey, listen, it's gonna be a while if we can get this mess cleaned up right here. So if you don't mind, go ahead and turn the car off for me. Out of the car, let's go. Get your arm back, get your arm. Give me the other arm, now! Do not move, do you understand? Roll up.
Agent Butler and I went up to his vehicle and found a loaded .38 handgun under his seat. Also, there was a loaded AR-15 in his trunk and several $1,000s in cash, which I believe he was going to use to purchase the station wagon.
Go, come on.
With the suspect in custody, agents search his home and uncover evidence conclusively linking him to the Unity parade bomb.
We found a pipe that he used in the device that matched. We found the wiring. We found the box for the remote car starter and the second key fob. We found books on white supremacy, including books on Adolf Hitler and other violent white extremists. The search team found a digital camera. So one of the agents was searching through the camera and realized that there was no digital photographs left. We sent that camera to the lab. The lab came back and said, listen, there are deleted photographs on Harpum's camera, which we can retrieve.
They're photos of Harpum at the Unity Day Parade. he's his own eyewitness.
We were ecstatic about that because even although we had Kevin's DNA, we had him buying fishing weights and things like that, we still, to that point, had no evidence of him actually being down at the march that day.
One image is particularly haunting.
One of the more seminal images that is, I think, etched into all our memories is an image of an African-American family of children arrayed before a statue of an astronaut. And in a perverse way, Harpum was taking a picture of his prey. He was taking a trophy picture of, very likely, or what could have been, those that he would have killed with his device. And that captured the essence of the evilness of the individual.
Using the photos for reference, agents also discover Harpum on the surveillance footage they pulled from the march. The evidence keeps mounting.
Once we have Kevin Harpum in custody, his name is released to the press, we get a phone call from a farmer up in Colville who says, I have a gravel pit, which is about a mile as crow flies from where Kevin Harpum lives. I found, looks like someone had tried to detonate a bomb there in the fall of 2010. So our evidence response team from Seattle went up and processed the scene. In that gravel pit, they found several items of evidence, including wiring which matched our device, an egg timer, and a bottle of explosive fluid which had Kevin Harpum's name on it.
The FBI knows that it's crucial to convince a jury just how lethal Harpum's bomb could have been. Words won't cut it, so specialists at Quantico film a demo.
We built several of the devices to scale using the same components. When the initiator gave that spark of flame to the black powder, it launched those 128 fishing weights out at a great velocity towards the target material, a metal file cabinet and some military-style targets. It went through and through a steel file cabinet and that it penetrated both sides. The human skin is not nearly as resilient as a steel file cabinet, and you can figure out what would have happened.
I've watched the explosion of the device countless times. And just watching that, the destruction, and I just am relieved because the carnage it would have done had that been detonated in the middle of a parade filled with innocent people is untold.
Harpum knows he can't dodge the insurmountable evidence. To avoid a potential life sentence, he pleads guilty to hate crime and terrorism charges. He's sentenced to 32 years in prison.
Catching Kevin Harpum, bringing him to justice, holding him accountable was, I think for many of us, the seminal point in our careers. It was an example of everything working as it should, flowing smoothly. It was a success story in the end for the good guys.
I think the real irony is that Kevin Harpum tried to disrupt this march and maybe make the participants so fearful that they wouldn't participate again. But yet I think it had the opposite effect. Every year since then, the march has gotten larger, more participants, and I can tell you I'm one of those participants.
The continued success of the Unity Parade is a point of pride for the agents who work so hard to bring Harpum to justice.
It's a sense of accomplishment of getting Kevin Harpum off the street, keeping this community safe. And though I didn't march in 2011, I've marched every march since, and I've done so proudly, and it's been a great experience for myself and my family.